Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Endless Race podcast, episode 16. And today we have a very special guest. He goes by the name of Lou. He is a online personal trainer, so he helps individuals achieve their fitness goals. So if any of you are interested in seeing what he does and how he can help you, his details will be in either the description of YouTube or Spotify, depending on what you're listening to. But again, another great episode. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content and the visuals of the episodes. I'm trying my best to stay consistent with it. So I hope you enjoy this episode, and I'll see you on the next one. Because you did computing and
applied science.
That's it. Computing, huh?
Yeah, it was a very, very poor choice.
Really?
Well, I think in looking back at it now, yes. At the time, I wanted to be a games designer. So I was just like, this is going to be ideal. And I remember sitting down with Miss Kelly and she was like, oh yeah, we make games in this class. And she showed me the end product of someone's game. And I was like, this is sick. Me thinking just I could put 2 and 2 together and it was just going to be a game. And then I remember the first lesson in and she was writing some weird symbols on the board. And I was like, yeah, a bit of a sticky one.
Yeah, I did like computing, to be fair. I was a bit gutted with my grade, to be honest.
Yeah, you and me both, mate.
Yeah. Because what did you get in the end?
An E.
Got an E?
Yeah, bro.
No.
That's why I wasn't turning up on results day, man. I remember vividly going into the exam and I knew for a fact I wasn't going to get a great grade. But I was maybe I'll scrape a C or a D.
Yeah.
I remember going into that exam hall after we'd been in the daylo revising. And I remember looking at the third question and just sitting on it for 30 minutes. And I just have this picture of, I think it was Alex. And he was just, or it was either Alex or Lewis, and it was can I have a piece of extra paper? And I was sitting there, and I was I haven't even written a line, and this guy's asking for extra paper. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you see that, in an exam, you're thinking, fuck.
And
I've written 2 lines, and this guy's asking for extra paper. But no, computing was alright for me.
And Alex and Lewis are the type of people, they just come out of the exam and they're just oh mate, I did so bad. I did terrible. I'm shit. And then you look back and then it's just A's. And you're just I
think they did pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah, no,
I wasn't happy with my grade, to be honest. But Miss Kelly was a great teacher, though.
She was a class teacher. She was
very disciplined to us.
Yeah.
We had an interesting class.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
But we don't need to go there.
Yeah, big up Tarek.
Yeah, big up Tarek. I wonder what he's doing nowadays.
I think he went to Essex Uni, I'm pretty sure. But I have no idea what he did after that.
Because he was talented. He was very talented.
To be fair to him, he would he put in the work, especially he knew what he was doing. I remember looking back at his coursework and he was a lot more developed compared to most of us.
Didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. We were kind of putting together the bits and pieces, and he had already kind of constructed do you know what I mean? The end result. Yeah. But I think
Because you didn't apply to uni, did you? You didn't do UCAS, or you did?
No, I mean I knew very early on that I wasn't going to go to uni.
Why is that?
I think halfway through year 12, I knew for a fact that I never liked school. I've just never thrived in that environment. And I think especially trying to apply myself within certain subjects, I just don't have that kind of motivation to kind of push myself in that regard. And then the idea of going to uni, I don't think I would have had the self-restraint and the motivation to actually push through.
Oh, that's my laptop. Oh,
I was about to say, what is...
My bad.
Was that your alarm to start?
It's a timer. What the hell?
Anyway, before I was really interrupted.
Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, my bad.
It's okay. What was I saying? My brain's gone blank.
You were talking about how you didn't really like school, and you didn't want to go to uni because you didn't feel as though that.
Yeah, no,
would be right for you.
The thing that attracted me to uni was obviously going out, living on your own. That appealed more to me than any actual subject itself. So I just knew that if I went to uni, I just wouldn't have that self-restraint, and I probably just would have turned into a druggy. I feel like, being completely honest.
To be fair, I think that's a lot for a lot of people though.
Yeah, 100%. It's an escape from reality. Like, you're not with your parents for the first time. It's kind of like where you're becoming who you are. You know, it sets you up for not the rest of your life, but I feel like you're a crucial part of your kind of who you are. You develop that in like uni within those kind of years.
Yeah, definitely. So you said you wanted to be a games designer.
Yeah.
Were you doing anything to progress in that field? Like, were you learning how to code?
No, man.
Besides obviously computing and stuff.
No, I mean, like, this was, I think, from secondary school. That was always at the forefront of my mind of what I wanted to do, because like as a kid I was just obsessed with games. Yeah. Like, I was just like one of those kids who would like stay inside for like 7 hours, play their Xbox, wouldn't go out. Like, chubby little guy. And then kind of coming out of secondary school, I was just like, I was good at science. So naturally I was just good at science. I didn't really kind of try in that, but like biology and kind of anatomy, that kind of stuff interested me. So I did that. And then with games design, I never did anything to further it. It was just like, it's the only thing where I kind of had a little bit of sense of direction. So I said, computing is the only other thing at the moment that makes sense. But yeah, never any further kind of progress in that field.
Should have done it, to be fair, because it's a good industry to get into.
It's a great industry to get into.
And just because you haven't gone to uni, and this applies to anyone, just because, especially in computing, you can do that as a skill on the side.
Oh yeah, mate. There's tons of people who learn code in their free time, but I mean, I just don't have any passion for that anymore. Like the thing was, at the time, the reason I was so passionate about that was because I love gaming, and it was just like, I'd love to be able to develop this, but like I couldn't tell you the last time like I played a game. Like, honestly.
To be fair, I was the same. Originally, my goal was to become a programmer, and then that just kind of flew out the window, I guess. To be fair, I went on to doing cybersecurity, and then I just went from there, to be honest. But it is a difficult one, to be fair, because I do have thoughts of going back to it in regards to, how I was talking about just doing it on the side. Yeah. But yeah, I'm being lazy, to be fair.
It's like I said, bro, you can't be a jack of all trades. Don't get me wrong. I respect the hustle, and I think especially at kind of the age we are now, we want to really push ourselves to kind of do as much as possible, and you kind of want to set yourself up for the best future. Kind of, I know for the like past 2 years of my life, I've put the most stress on myself because I want to, I want to be able to provide for myself. I want to set myself up so, when I have a family, I know I can provide for them. And I definitely think within these next few years, if you, are smart about your decisions, you can definitely put yourself in a great position. Kind of
totally agree.
Before, if you're like dragging that out, but you've got to be smart in the same sense that you can't just, take on so many things that you're so overwhelmed and you're not actually getting good at one thing. You're just kind of getting okay at a lot of them, Yeah.
It's a good little saying there. It's definitely true, because I found myself trying to dip my toes into different markets in regards to, when I say markets, I mean different businesses. So I was, first off, I was doing Amazon FBA. Then I tried to dip into affiliate marketing. And then I'm pretty sure I tried to dip into trading, all this stuff. And then I was like, you know what, fuck this. I need to stick to one. And that's when Amazon FBA came about, of course. So PT, Mr. PT Lou, where did that all begin? I remember you saying you were quite a chubby kid back in the day.
Yeah.
So how chubby were we talking?
I was like, my face was a sphere, bro. Like if like, a basketball, you could bounce my head on the floor. Like I was very, very big. Like,
was that all just in your face, or was it everywhere?
Oh no, bro. Like I was big. Like I'll find a picture at some point and you can like edit it into it and just like so people have an idea. But like I was a chubby kid, man. Okay. Like from I think it was 12 to 15. Like I was very, very fat.
We're talking what, obese? Like your BMI was obese?
I'm sure my BMI was obese. Yeah, I was like very, very insecure in myself, and it was like the back end of primary school, and then throughout secondary school until like year 11, year 10, where like I made like a drastic. I went from one extreme to the other, so I went from this like chubby kid through primary school and then most of secondary school, and then I just decided like I can't like the mental toll of like being like that. Like, don't get me wrong, kids in secondary and kids in general are just like very harsh to each other. And I'm not gonna say like I got bullied, but I was definitely taunted for being overweight. And like that ate away at me. But I was like, I didn't go to a very big school, so I was quite close with the people who were saying this about me, and I played it off as like a joke. Like I joke along with it, but like down low, like my self-esteem was terrible. I like thought the worst of myself. And then one day I was just like, you know what, enough's enough. There was like a turning point where I went on holiday with my parents. We went to the Caribbean, and my dad always brings it up because he's just like, you ruined this holiday. like it was so much money. It was a ridiculously expensive holiday. And we were going to the beach, and I refused to go to the beach, and I spent 4 days in my room upstairs. I didn't go out because I was so insecure about taking off like my shirt or being seen. And this was with my family. Like I knew no one there was actually probably going to care, but like I was so insecure about myself that like even being around other people, I would just thinking like, these people, what are they thinking about me? All this kind of stuff. And then my mum was like, look, we need to like sort this out because this is like eating away at your life.
Yeah. So then when was it? So you said secondary school was the turning point.
So it was, I got a PT. I had like 2 PTs, like, and both of them one of them wasn't qualified, and the other one was like, basically I told her I wanted to get abs, and we were so obsessed with that to the point where I'd like developed a really bad eating disorder, and I like starved myself. When I say I went from like one extreme to the other, like if you saw me at like 15 to like probably just before, probably for the first year of sixth form as well, like 15 to 17, if you saw me without a top, like I was tiny, like I was so skinny. I remember like, I think I was in like the 60s, but for me that was very, very small. And at the time I didn't realize I hadn't like a problem with eating. I didn't have an issue with it. But I just felt confident because I was just like, oh, I'm skinny. And then obviously as you get older, you're around girls, you think like, oh, okay, I need to get like muscles. And then, it just kind of spiraled from there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult being called fat and skinny, to be fair. They don't go well because my PE teachers used to call me, I used to have a nickname back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to be called Twiggy.
Twiggy.
That's what my PE teachers used to call me.
That's terrible. From the teachers.
From the teachers. But the thing is, I had a good relationship with the PE teachers.
Yeah, so it was like a banty kind of thing, but I'm sure.
Yeah, Twiggy. I mean, am I Twiggy now? I would say I'm a stronger twig. Let's just put it that. I'm muscular twig.
Yeah. You're a stick.
Stick.
We need to get to the log phase next.
I think it goes branch and then log.
It's branch then log. Okay.
And then we get to like fucking with the leaves and shit.
Yeah, you're sprouting, you know.
And then we get to a fucking tree.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Where would you say you're on that list? How did we get to here, bro? What the hell?
Nah, it's good, man. It's good. I'd say I'm like 1 up from stick. Because,
really?
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm not that big.
You're looking
but I'm not that big. This is the thing, like...
You're looking broad, though.
I'm broad. I don't actually think that's anything to do with, like, putting on muscle. Like, I have naturally quite wide clavicles, so, like...
Clavicles?
Clavicles.
Oh, do you want to explain what that is?
Clavicles, so it's just your clavicle bone here. So, I've got very wide clavicles. Like, that's the distance between... But, so, obviously, the wider that is, bigger your shoulders are gonna, stick out. But, yeah, like... My journey with fitness hasn't been like a smooth sailing one. Like I know on Instagram it can seem like, oh, he's just constantly making progress. But like even last year, I got like really bad with my eating again. Like I went through a full like kind of, I don't want to label it as a disorder because I don't feel like it was as bad as it once was. But like I definitely had issues like eating and kind of like, gaining body fat again. You know, and that's something I'm doing right now, like to put on size, and I definitely struggle with it a lot still. But yeah, it's not just a smooth sailing thing. I feel like Instagram and social media, it literally is just like a highlight reel, and I try to be a lot more honest on it because I definitely think it has an impact, and I feel like in today's society, a lot of people just, you know, they show like all the highs, especially in the fitness industry, because no one ever wants to say like, oh, had a shit session, this went wrong, you know, I'm not feeling good today. And it's hard, especially when you have like my business is all dictated online, and you know those days where you're you're feeling down, but you have to put on like a smile on your story and like try and sell is hard. Like during, when was it? Like April last year, I fell into like a really, really bad like mental headspace.
Okay.
And you know, trying to show up on my story and do that, that was just kind of gone.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I've got to give props to you, Lou, because you've been doing this for how long now? Like 2 years?
Fitness in general, or
Okay, let's say like the Instagram stuff.
the Instagram, yeah. So I'd say like 2 years, but I'd say only properly like 1 year.
Yeah. And I've told you before, like you said, every day, sometimes you're not going to want to feel like posting, but you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like for anyone who follows Lou and has, looks at his content, Lou posts more or less every single day, regardless of whether...
I will say the last 2 weeks have been a bit...
But regardless...
But I'm saying, yeah.
You're not going to be perfect, and I praise you for it, because even now, when I'm doing stuff for my podcast, and I'm posting here, everywhere, I got upload, and obviously mine are clips.
Yeah.
Yours is actually you creating content
Yeah,
yourself.
you've got to record it, you've got to go in the gym, you've got to kind of think of like... There's so much more to it, because you see a finished piece of content on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
You think, oh, that guy's just said it all in one go and he's just talking about a topic. But I promise you, if you try and sit down, you look into a camera lens and then you're trying to, speak clearly, make sure you're speaking about a topic easily, which is going to relate to someone. You want to make sure it's got a snappy introduction. So, people's attention spans these days are so small. So like if you haven't gotten hooked in the first 2 seconds, they're going to scroll past. Yeah. And something you've just spent like an hour and a half on, they might not even see.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about it, to be fair. There's so much like psychology, human psychology behind marketing and advertising. Like you said, no one has a long attention span. No. Unless they're loyal to you, they're just going to scroll past. But like I said, keep doing what you're doing, Lou, honestly.
I appreciate it, man.
It's starting to show and I can see it. So for those that don't know, I haven't actually introduced what Lou actually does. So Lou is a PT, right? He's an online PT. Why didn't you go down the route of, is it one-to-one, could you say?
Yeah, one-to-one. So
in-person one-to-one
I am a qualified PT as well. And that's something I'm trying to pick up as well now.
Okay.
But like, to be honest with you, the way I see the fitness industry, and a lot of people will kind of tell you this now, the way it's going is it is all going onto the online space now. I feel like I should have, looking back, I would have liked to get into one-to-one PT. First off, just so I could kind of establish, working with clients, working out like how to actually, teach people, because I've had to do that online, and I feel like now I've got to a place where I can do that a lot more effectively. But I feel like if I initially, just jumped on one-to-one, it would have been a lot easier to do that. But I think in my headspace, I was just like, oh, I can just cut out the middleman, and if I just focus on it from the get-go, I'll be able to kind of pick it up quicker. Yeah, that's why I kind of went down that route.
Yeah. So like, what's your regimen in regards to, one, how do you find your clients? 2, once you've onboarded a client, what's sort of the process, like the enrollment process?
Yeah.
And I assume your clients want to see some sort of videos. So have you got pre-recorded videos that you've done to say, for example, doing a bench press?
Yep.
Is that all on like a portal that you?
So the way it works, like we'll start off with how I get clients. So the reason I post on social media every single day is, the hope someone follows me. Yeah. I post content which basically helps people in the gym figure out, why haven't they got these results? Why have I been eating X amount of calories? Why aren't I gaining weight? Why aren't I losing weight? Why is this exercise I'm performing, not gaining me muscle? Why does this hurt my leg? All this kind of things. I'm trying to appeal to people and give them, information so they can understand and kind of get value from that. And that's the main way I will get people kind of to follow me. Yeah. I'll then post other stuff regarding, the current clients I have, how I've been able to help them, messages, communication we have within the team, and kind of showing them how they've progressed from point A to point B. In terms of someone enrolling with me, there's a link in my bio. Go click it if you want coaching. Quick plug. Basically, someone clicks, they book in for a consult call. It's 30 minutes. I will jump on a Zoom call with them, and I will basically ask them, I have a sheet which they fill out, which basically says like, I want to gain muscle, I want to improve my mindset. Maybe it's just I want accountability, or I just want help learning how to kind of get to my fitness goal.
Okay.
So I'll talk on the call with them about, what they've previously done, why this might not have been working, what I can kind of give to them to get them from, where they are currently to where they want to be, and kind of show them how the system works, and kind of if they want to go from there, they then sign on, and then I will go to create a plan. The coaching process itself is literally, I will give them a training plan, a nutrition plan. We will have WhatsApp communication 24/7, video check-ins and form assessments. So that means that they'll have a sheet each week where they fill out all the information, regarding, how everything's gone. I'll provide the feedback. I will look over their training. So I'll get them to film themselves in the gym. Okay. So, although one-to-one PT is good, for some people, they might not realize that, majority of PTs, especially if it's just one-to-one, won't actually go into, detail regarding your nutrition. You're there for an hour, and, they don't really kind of, they go into detail about how to train, but understand that if you don't know how to actually, fuel your sessions, make sure you're recovering effectively, you're not going to make a lot of progress. So online coaching gives that person 24/7 access to that. Yeah. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it more effective. And that's basically the process. We check in each week, make sure kind of we're touching base throughout the week. And if they've got any problems, make sure they feel heard, and, we're making progress.
Yeah. So how many clients do you have at the moment?
I've got five online currently. It's gone up and down. It's fluctuated. But yeah, online 5 currently.
Okay, good. And what's sort of the age range?
Working. I mean, the majority of them are kind of within their 20s. I've worked with some older people, some like mid 30s, but yeah, mostly around kind of like 18 to 24 is like the age range I'm mainly working with.
Yeah. So obviously you trained, I think early on, man like Rio.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Big up Rio. How was it like training with him? Because he made some mad. Hey, listen, big up Rio, because Rio, there was a time where he was quite big. Yeah. And he like really transformed his body. Mm-hmm. Like really, really transformed his body. So how was it like working with him and seeing his results? It's
good, man. Like I always say that it's sick to see the transformation physically, because it's great to see someone's body transform, but the thing I love the most about coaching is honestly seeing someone's mental transformation. Because I remember, like, I really kind of like related to Rio, because he was in the same position where I was, where he was like, he was uncomfortable taking off his top. He didn't feel comfortable in his own skin. And like, I was like, I know exactly how that feels. And, I appreciate the patience he had with me, because as I started off coaching, this was about 2 years ago. So when I was literally first starting out with online coaching, I was figuring a lot of stuff out. Yeah. So, it wasn't the quickest process, but he stuck with me the whole way. We got a lot of body fat off him. We got a lot of muscle on him. And by the end of it, he was a lot more confident. Like, he was telling me he was playing basketball with his top off. He was getting compliments from his friends.
You ain't doing that.
That's what he was telling me, bro. He was telling me he was playing basketball.
Rio, you're lying. He never did that.
Maybe it wasn't with you. Maybe it was when he was playing with some other friends, bro.
Nah, but he only ever played with me. Yeah, he's still alive.
He was saying he was getting compliments from his friends, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, he was, to be fair. And I think the biggest difference was his arms and his, like, upper back area. Yeah. His lats.
Yeah.
But yeah,
lats isn't upper back, but like,
but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to say back.
Nah.
It's cool. What people are gonna say? Oh, you're talking about cheeks. Yeah, I can't be bothered for that. How do you determine someone's success in their fitness career? I know obviously they have their weight goals, but obviously you talk a lot about mental, nutrition.
I mean, it's like, I've had it so many times where someone will come to me and they'll say, like, how much weight can I lose in 12 weeks? And the first thing I say is, like, how much you want it, because at the end of the day, the thing that's going to separate your journey from someone else is how much you apply yourself. And it's the same with anything in life. If you want a job, if you're going to work harder than everyone else in your office, you're going to get promoted, right? Yeah. So the harder you apply yourself, and the more kind of, I think, holding yourself accountable to your own actions, and working out you know, being mentally strong is definitely a very valuable, you know, skill set to have in fitness, because, you know, when you're dieting down, you know, not giving in to cravings, there's always going to be ways we can kind of like you know, get from point A to point B. But I mean, like, there are going to be times where you're just going to have to suck it up. Like, I know it sounds bad, and, you know, if a coach should never say to you, you know, just suck it up, because that's just lazy coaching. No, but no, hear me out. Like, yeah, there's times when you're going to be in a dieting phase, right, where calories are really low. But let's say for the single mum, and I said this on like my podcast recently, let's say for the single mum who's 30, she's got 3 kids, right? She can't do 10,000 steps a day, so she's got a diet with more calories. It's not good. Yeah, she's going to have to suck it up a little bit, but she's not going to be able to, you know, achieve her goal, and you're not going to be able to, you know, you can make changes to make it a lot easier for her. And it's not always, there's a lot of coaches in the industry who will just say, you know, do it this way because I did it. Yeah. And something that makes someone a great coach is being able to understand a client's situation and being able to use your skill set to get them from their goal as easy as possible. Yes, there's going to be a degree of, you are going to have to suck it up eventually, because there will be a point where, you know, we need to get more body weight off, and, you know, your calories are going to have to go very low if we can't kind of do it these other ways. But there comes a point as well where you might have to say, look, you've got a low body weight. If we drive your calories up, it's going to make it a lot easier for dieting. I know you don't want to gain weight at the moment, but you have to understand that if you're not in a place to be able to diet down through these means, this is going to be more effective in the long run. We're not going to take away from your life. Yeah, you might gain a little bit of body weight, but, you know, you're going to be able to diet down so much easier. So it's really just, you know, understanding each client and being able to communicate with them and just understanding their situation.
Yeah, well, yeah, like you said, every person's situation is different. And I think that is, again, in regards to like training yourself, just because you can do squats doesn't mean I can do squats.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just because you're getting stronger from it and gaining muscle for it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for me. Because I know a lot of people that don't want to do squats. I've got friends that don't squat. They haven't squatted in years. You don't squat?
No, I don't squat.
I mean, you don't have to do it. Like, it works for me. I feel a good contraction.
Yeah. There's multiple ways to skin a cat, though, and that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It's not just one fixed way. And obviously, you know, equipment's going to be a massive part of that. If they've only got like a squatting platform as their main compound available, then yeah, you're gonna have to kind of work with us a little bit. Yeah, there's some other stuff we're gonna be able to implement, but like, you know, sometimes you've got to, you know, be smart with it.
What's one of the most common questions that you get for when clients inquire for your PT? And is it,
I don't understand why I'm not losing weight. And like 100% of the time, it would be like, you're not in a calorie deficit. Like, you'd be so surprised the amount of people who think like,
for those that don't understand, what's calorie deficit?
So basically, the way you lose weight or you gain weight is either you're in a calorie surplus or you're in a calorie deficit. Calorie surplus, you're eating more calories than you're expending. Calorie deficit, you're eating less calories, you're expending more. So it's basically just a formula. But, you know, when people come to me and they say, I'm not losing weight in a calorie deficit, you know, unless you've got like a serious thyroid condition, which I really, really doubt you do, you know, you don't see people starving, you know, people not eating food and, you know, they're fat, because that's not how it works. You know what I mean? But like, it's just not having, you know, enough knowledge about, you know, how many calories are in certain things. Like, the first thing I'll normally ask these people to do, I'll say, you know, track your calories for a week. Track every single thing you're eating, and then tell me how many calories you're eating. You know, I've worked with some people before where they've said, oh, all I'm eating is salad and vegetables, and I don't get why I'm not losing weight. And like, I'd put in their meal plan, like, you know, 100 grams of, like 200 grams of veg with each meal. And this person turned out that they were putting 200 grams of avocado in each meal. And avocado is very high in fat, if you didn't know. So this person across the day was eating like 600 grams of avocado, like a couple hundred calories extra. And as soon as we took that out, weight loss started again, you know?
Yeah, that is crazy, to be fair. And I think that's what a lot of people, especially when it comes to weight loss, people just think, yeah, I'm going to starve myself and I'm going to do cardio. When we both know, me being not being a PT, I know that's not the healthiest way to do it.
Well, it's developing. It's developing like good habits, and like I'll say it time and time again. It's the best way to explain it to someone who's just starting is like, imagine you're playing a video game, right? You've just bought this game. You know, you wouldn't go to the boss level with no armor. You know, no like stats. You're gonna get like you're fucked. You're dead. All right. So like, imagine it in any other, like, imagine you were in charge of your friend's diet and you just went, you're right, you're not going to eat food today and you're going to run on the treadmill for 4 hours. That would not be your friend. Your friend would tell you to fuck off. Yeah, so why are you doing that to yourself? Yeah. You need to start with small changes. You need to be smart and you need to figure out what's going to work for your routine. Yeah, maybe it's not going to be as fast as starving yourself, but, you know, 90% of people who go down that approach end up gaining all the weight back, you know, because they're not creating, you know, sustainable habits. And that's the biggest thing you need to do. You need to, it's a big change to your lifestyle, you know, incorporating, you know, you might have to meal prep. You might have to, you know, you're going to the gym multiple times a week. You have to focus on, you know, getting more sleep. It's a big change to your lifestyle when you start to, you know, track all these factors. But, you know, if you really want the results, you have to hold yourself accountable, and you can't really, you know, expect to get from, you know, point A to point B without, you know, some, I don't want to say sacrifice, because it's not, you can still be smart about it, but, you know, sometimes you do have to make that sacrifice.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think a lot when it comes to the fitness industry, people, they don't make it easy for themselves. Like they think they make it a chore. They make it a chore to go to the gym. They make it a chore to eat. Like, just because...
But people like seeing that, though. That's the thing. It's like... Not in the sense of, like, starving, but, like, people like seeing stuff... People do, like, hard stuff. Like, seeing motivational videos of, like, David Goggins, like, do a 100-mile marathon.
Yeah, but he's in a different level of his own to everyone else.
Yeah, but, like, do you know what I mean? You enjoy... Like, everyone likes seeing, like, Michael Jordan, you know, like, Kobe Bryant, all these people. They enjoy watching these people, like, work their arse off. And I think there's... I think certain people I know for a fact, I think like this as well. I enjoy, like, it's kind of sadistic in a way. Like, the harder I can make something for myself, if I know I can prevail through that, I feel like a sense of achievement, you know?
Better, yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. It is true. Because sometimes, I'll be real. This week, I've been battling some demons, I'll be honest.
Mentally? Or?
Mentally, yeah, to be fair.
Talk to me about that.
And literally, mainly it's gym, to be honest. Like, with me, I don't know about you, but if I don't go to the gym at the certain time that I usually go, so I would usually wake up at about 4:45, get to gym for about 6 or 5:30. And when I don't go in the morning, my day is just absolutely finished. Like, my productivity is out the window. I skip my meals because usually I wake up, have my protein shake, go to the gym, come back, have my second shake. And then from there, I usually have a nap, and then I eat my pasta, whatever. I'm in a good routine. But the moment I don't go to the gym, everything just goes out the window. And it's really bad. Like, sometimes, honestly, I'll be battling demons. I wake up, turn that alarm off, turn my light on, and I'm just sitting at the edge of my bed just thinking, fuck, I want to go back to bed.
Bro, I'm the exact same. Like, I think...
It's peak, man.
And this is the thing, I think a lot of people, like, that's the second thing I get messaged the most, which is, like, how do you have the motivation to do this every day? And you don't.
You don't.
You don't.
Fucking just
I wake up most days thinking, I really don't want to go into the gym right now and, you know, lift this amount of weight and having to beat previous reps after, you know, I'm waking up early, you know, doing a full day's work and then, you know, doing that and then having to, like, batch film content as well. Like, it's the last thing you want to do, but you've got to, I think holding yourself accountable is a massive form of self-respect. And I feel like that's why a lot of people, you know, within this kind of space are very confident, because you're doing stuff you don't want to do every single day because you want to better yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, that is the biggest form of self-respect. It's holding yourself accountable. Because the thing is, bro, you can write 100 things on a list every single day. And you know for a fact, if you're not going to cross those off, you know, you're just lying to yourself, and you have to go to bed with that feeling, though, and you're just lying to yourself. And if you're lying to yourself, you're forming a bad relationship with yourself, you know? And it's, if you have a bad relationship with yourself, how are you gonna, you know, how's that gonna affect your relationship with others?
Yep, no, it's very true. It's very true. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say,
Ooh, Lou, I've forgotten what I was going to say.
We were talking about, you know, your mental health and, you know, how difficult days can be.
But I was going to go off of that.
Mm.
Hey, Skada, I've forgotten. Let me just ask you one of the questions that I've got here.
Okay.
What is one of your proudest accomplishments, and how have you grown and sort of learnt from that? Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be gym related.
No, it's not going to be gym related, you know. I was going to say something gym related, and then I thought, you know what, probably people were getting tired about the gym.
No, but if what you've done in the gym is the most efficient and effective way that has changed you, then say it. Just because you're a PT.
I definitely think, you know, there's two things that come to mind, and I'll go through both of them. Number one was my photo shoot prep I did in, I think it was 2 years ago now, or yeah, it might be 2 years ago. I lost 19 kilos in 3 months.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a lot of weight.
That's a lot. That's a fucking plate.
Yeah. So we spent I think a year bulking up. I got to 80 kilos. And then we came down 19 kilos. And, you know, it was a very, very tough mental battle for myself. You know, I was working night shifts. I was starting at like 2 a.m, finishing at like 11, 12. And then I had to train at my mate's home gym. So this was during COVID. So gyms weren't open. And, you know, you have very limited available, you know, exercises you can do. I was working in a supermarket, so I was surrounded by food 24/7. You know, and when you're that lean and you're dieting constantly, all you're thinking about is food and craving it. So walking down aisles and seeing chocolate bars and Nutella and the things that like set me off, it was hard, bro. But that once I kind of did that photo shoot, that was the first time in my life I was just like, I can actually do this.
Yeah.
Like I felt like this is what I'm supposed to do. And something just clicked. The second thing that comes to mind was going to therapy last year.
Okay.
So like I touched on, I won't go too deep into it, but I was in a very bad headspace last year between, I think it was March to, I'd say to about October. And I just kind of felt lost. I was having suicidal thoughts. Okay. I basically, the best way I can describe it is like, I have a very, like I live daily with like a negative voice in my head, and it's kind of like, I'm sure everyone has it, but like it got to the point where like I wake up every day, I fight it, and I'm just doing, you know, my daily routine, I'm getting through it, and I'm just like not listening to it. And then one day I woke up and I was just like, I gave into it. And over a couple kind of weeks, it went down a really kind of dark rabbit hole. I didn't have the energy to like get out of my bed. Like literally waking up and trying to remain positive was like, it felt like I had the weight of the world on my shoulders, you know. And, you know, I didn't want to talk to anyone because I didn't want to burden anyone with that. And, you know, I just thought to myself like constantly, like it would just be easier to not wake up. Like it just literally would be so much easier. Like the idea of, and I never thought I'd go through this mindset because, you know, I've had friends in a very similar place, and I remember, you know, thinking to myself like, how could that ever cross your mind? Yeah. You know, but I feel like unless you've ever kind of been in that place, it's a very weird thing. And then one day I went to a cafe with my mum, and she knew something was up. She was like, do you want to go for a coffee? And I went for a coffee, and she just looked at me and said like, yo, what's up? And I just broke down, and she convinced me to go to therapy. I did it for about 2.5 months, and yeah, it really kind of like changed my life in the sense of like knowing that, you know, it's normal for certain, you know, for this to occur, and, you know, there's ways of fighting it, and, you know, speaking does help. And I know there's a very big stigma with like guys talking about mental health. Yeah. And it's hard because like I don't know what your parents are like, but like my old man is like, I think I've seen him cry once in my life, and that's when he like broke ribs in front of me. Yeah. He's very like reserved, and, you know, I've grown up with that mentality of like, you can't cry. You know, you gotta be strong. You gotta be, you know, you can't do this. So I think for me that was just like a flick, like a flick of a switch, like saying it's all right to be this way, you know. But yeah, what are your proudest moments, mate?
My proudest moment. I would say something to do with FBA.
Yeah.
From a business perspective, I've managed to make, in the space of just under 2 years, just over 5K. No, not 5K, 5 figures in revenue, which for me is impressive. With my private label product, I was able to sell over 1,000 units.
That's good, bro.
So I'm quite happy with that. We're progressing, but I would say, in terms of mentally, 2018 for me was quite a difficult year for me.
Yeah.
A lot that was going on with parents, A-levels, sadly a heartbreak. And yeah, it was just a case of I was constantly getting rejected from my jobs. And I was like, bro, where am I going to go in life? Like, I literally felt like I was just lost, like you said. Results day, everyone was getting the results, getting into unis. I was thinking, fuck, I'm here applying to colleges. Not saying that going to college is bad, but I had already done A-levels. I was kind of going backwards.
But you were comparing yourself to others in that regard. And that's something that like caused me to go down that route as well. Because I was looking at my friends, like my friends at the time, both worked up London. They were finishing uni with degrees, and I remember every single day I was just like, you work in Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
And you literally, like this is what was going in my head. It was like, you work at Sainsbury's and you're putting in all this work and you've got nothing out of it. And you look shit. Like this was when the eating disorder like started to kick in, because I wasn't eating. It was just like, you're putting on this like facade that you're this like guy, and you think you're that guy and you're not that guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like comparing yourself to others is such a bad place to go down, but it's human nature.
Yeah, literally. And like they say, what's the quote? Comparison is the thief of joy. Of all joy. Yeah, and it's true. So guys, don't compare yourself to everyone. Be yourself. Be unique. Whatever you're doing, just stay in your lane. And yeah, don't compare yourself. That's all I can really say, to be fair.
Damn, we just got so deep.
Yeah, we did.
Let's liven it up a little bit.
We did. But that's, like I said, this is part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Like you said, even when it comes to social media, no one really wants to talk about this shit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it's good now and then to talk about it, but yeah, we've done it now. So, Lou.
Yes, sir.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be, and how would you use it to change the world?
I'm not going to say invisibility or flying, because that's way too
No, come on, it's got to be something.
Yeah. Wait, it has to impact the world.
Yeah,
so I can't just be like, just for fun.
That was part of the question, but I took that out.
So I can be like Wolverine and be like, oh yeah, I'll be the baddest Michelin star chef around.
Yeah, no. Because that was part of the question, but I took it out. So yeah, it has to improve the world. It has to have some sort of impact on the world.
Be able to absorb plastic from the oceans.
Okay.
What do you want me to say, bro? It's hard. It's hard. Like, if it has to impact the earth, bro, I'm not gonna what do you mean? What else am I gonna say?
Sorry, it was a curveball.
It was
a fucking curveball. Sorry.
You just made it like a normal question, and what, you sponsored by like the local council or something, bro? What's going on?
Okay, carry on. Expand.
I don't know.
So what, you just stand by the ocean and go, I want all the plastic, and then it just absorbs
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I just walk into the ocean, I'm like, and all the plastic comes to me like a magnet, and all the turtles are saved. No more straws and that.
Because what what you can do actually is you can turn that into like positive energy, right?
Nah, it's not my superpower, bro. I absorb plastic. Right. I don't turn it into positive energy.
You, man. I tried, man. I tried. That's funny.
Go ahead, try another one.
You can ask me.
What would your superhero power be? Go on, man. How are you going to change the world with your superhero power?
How would I change the world? But I'm on this like spiritual journey at the moment. So I would say not eliminate negativity, but I'm not going to jump into it because a lot of people will just go over their heads, but allow people to give them the power to instantly visualize,
right,
and imagine their goals, whatever it is. And when they visualize, have no thoughts of negativity or doubts. Because again, I'm not going to go too much into it, but once you can visualize it, once you can see it up here, you can hold it here.
Is that only for positive manifestations then?
Yeah. So
what about if that got into the wrong hands?
What do you mean?
Well, like, not everyone's going to be, you're thinking about from the perspective that everyone has good intentions.
No. That's
right. So you're telling me, like, say there's some guy, he's got a bit of a screw loose and he's trying to visualize like how he's going to like take over the world. Okay. And now he can do that easily because he's got no negative impacts because of what you've just said.
Good counter argument. Then,
mind you, if I'm absorbing all the plastic, how are we going to have bottles? It doesn't make sense.
You effed me up there.
It's a terrible question.
I was trying to, go somewhere spiritual and...
Nah, man. I think realistically, that's what I'm saying.
That's a realistic one.
What? Manifesting?
Okay, there'll be some terms and conditions in the Superpower.
Yeah. Tick them off.
But I think, because I don't think a lot of people... I don't know about you, but I struggle with visualization. Like, I literally cannot I can calm my mind, but I can't open my third eye in order to visualize
third eye.
Yeah, we don't have to get into that.
No, I'm actually interested, because I am spiritual in the sense that, like, I meditate, but I do that from a perspective of my focus. I know for a fact, like, if I can sit in a room with my eyes closed and focus on, like, my breathing for 10 minutes, there is a large difference in, like, how easy I'm able to focus throughout the day on set tasks, not get distracted on certain things.
Yeah.
But I feel like there definitely will be a point. I feel like not at this age, or maybe in like 2 years, where I'll be like, maybe I need to go on that spiritual journey. What is your third eye?
So your third eye is it's either your sixth chakra or your second chakra. So it's here. Mm-hmm. It's one of the higher faculties. So what you have to do is you close your eyes and you kind of imagine yourself looking at your forehead, and that opens up spiritually. Mm-hmm. This is all energy now, and then it feeds images into your mind. So let's just say I want to visualize myself lifting 100 kg. I will sit there, concentrate on it, and then I will clearly be able to see it in my third eye, which is part of your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind can't tell the difference. It doesn't have the ability to reason. Reason being it doesn't have the ability to think. So it can't reject or accept an idea. Your conscious mind does. So you consciously accept whether you're ugly, you're fat, you're broke, whatever. You can change that.
But what if you are ugly, fat, and broke? Because the only thing is, right, I understand what you're trying to say, right? But like, it's when people were like, I'm going to manifest this happening. And in reality, what's happening is, you're saying positive things every single day. But I can promise you right now, if I look in my mirror and I say, I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. I'm going to be a millionaire. Well, not tomorrow, but like, I'm going to do this to become a millionaire. I'm going to do this to become a millionaire. And I have no action. Yeah. Then nothing's going to happen.
Well, yeah, like you said. So all of us are dictated by results. Mm-hmm. And we try to change the result before we try to change our positive thoughts. And again, I don't want to go too much into it.
No, that's cool. It's cool.
I will spiral into it. But once you can accept an idea in your conscious mind, that gets impressed into your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind then, by the law of perpetual transmutation, moves into physical form. So you have spirit, you have the spiritual, you have the intellect, and you have the physical. The physical being the body, that we are this, that, whatever. And we use words to describe things.
No, I definitely understand what you're saying. Like, I definitely agree that self-limitation is a thing. Like, for example, if you're in the gym and like you're about to do like a movement and you think before you're doing this set, like, I'm not going to get this. There's a high chance you're not going to.
Yeah, because you've accepted it.
Exactly. Yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
Instantly, that takes into your subconscious mind, and it has to move into physical form, which is the manifestation. You don't lift it. But yeah, that's something that I'm working on at the moment. I'm studying, because I truly believe that once you can master your mind in regards to positive thoughts, visualization, I truly believe that you can achieve anything. Obviously, realistically,
I agree. I know what you're saying.
Okay, so this is the interesting part of the pod. Okay. This is where we test your knowledge.
So everything before that wasn't interesting.
As in,
I'm just messing with you, bro. I'm just messing with you. Yeah.
So for those that don't know, if you haven't seen the artwork of my podcast, is the Endless Race podcast is an arcade type theme. So if you look at the artwork, it's an old-fashioned arcade game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, okay, how can I implement some sort of arcade / game / leaderboard into the pod? I was thinking, what better way to test my guests?
Who's got the highest score so far?
You're the first one.
Oh.
So you're going to be first. You're going to be first regardless, Lee. So take that as a compliment, right?
Yeah, but okay. Now there's pressure.
Just do your
Okay.
best.
Nah, it's
Yeah,
all right. I
listen,
got this.
yeah, listen,
I got
so-
this. Self-confidence, you know?
Yeah,
Just
so
manifesting it. I'm going to be
that's
the first. I'm going to be top score for the rest of this whole pod.
Literally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you as many questions as possible I haven't decided it yet, so I'm going to be playing around with it. I don't know if it's.
Well, we need to set those limits now, mate,
No,
because
I
you
didn't-
can't do me for 30 seconds and then next week you're like 2 minutes, lad.
No. So I'll probably do, because I've only got 20 questions here.
20? I thought you were going to be like 3.
No, I've got 20
Are
questions.
they like quick
here.
fire questions?
Okay, they're quick fire. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. I'm kind of playing around with how I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's going to get better over time.
You just make sure you hold everyone to the same specifications, yeah?
The only difference is that they won't be the same questions every single time.
Oh, of course, yeah, because then they can just watch a podcast and find out the exact same answers.
So the only thing is, it's going to be, I'm going to say 2 minutes.
Yep.
I'm going to say now 2 minutes. You've got 2 minutes to answer as many questions as you can. I've got 20. I'm not allowing you to say pass. So if you don't know it.
Well, that's unfair. So if I get stuck, I'm done.
If you don't know it, you just got to flip and say you're stupid and you can't get a couple answer.
So I'd say pass.
No, not pass. Okay, you got to give me at least 2 answers before you can say pass.
What if I have no clue?
Well, then you got to say elephant or giraffe or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, cool.
So, yeah, like I said, I'm playing around with it. I'm
Yeah.
going to give you 2 minutes, and then we're going to go from there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get it rolling, Lou.
We're going to have like intense music over this as
No,
well.
I don't know what Alex is. I think Alex is going to do like a split screen, and then it's going to look like a game.
If you're watching this, mate, put intense music over this, like really intense orchestral themes. Okay? Do it. Cheers, Alex. Love you. Thanks for editing this, mate.
Yeah, big up Alex, man. For those that don't know, he's my editor. If you have any, I'm going to say this regardless, without his consent. If you want any videos edited, any YouTube videos edited, his details are in the description below. Chat to him. If he wants to do it, he'll help you. But yeah, I'm just plugging.
He's going to send you a message in a week. Be like, hey, why have I got so many people?
Yeah. Okay. Let me just mute that because last time it was just making bare noise. Okay. Lou, are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'll
Are
ever be,
you
mate.
ready to take on the Endless Race General Knowledge Quiz?
Hit me.
Okay. Your time starts now. What is the capital of France?
Paris.
What has to be broken before you can use it?
Egg.
Nice one. Who painted Mona Lisa?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yes, Lou. What is the title of Kanye West's 5th studio album?
See, this is where you mess me up because I don't know the order.
Hey, you don't have time. Just say any.
I don't even know the names of the albums apart from Graduation, you know. That's terrible for me. Pass. I don't know.
Okay,
Bro.
we'll pass. How many grams are in a kilogram?
100. No.
That's your answer. Sorry, lad. Who wrote the Harry Potter series?
J.K. Rowling.
Yes. What goes up but never comes down?
Um,
5, 4.
balloon. No, those come down.
Balloon.
Nah.
I've got to take your
Wind.
answer. I've got to take it.
Breath.
You said blue. You said balloon. Sorry. What is the largest ocean on Earth?
Pacific.
Nice. What is the title of Drake's 4th studio album?
Nothing was ever the same. No.
Nah, Views in 2016. What is the capital of Australia?
Sydney.
No,
What do you mean? Here it is.
Canberra.
Nah, that's a lie.
I think it changed.
Nah,
It's changed.
that's
Hey,
terrible.
let's go. What is the name given to the study of the structure, composition, and behavior of matter?
Do you think I'm an atomic physicist?
I'll give you. It's
What?
It's a type of science.
Right. What if you said? Repeat the question.
What is the name given to the study of the structure, composition, and behavior of matter?
Theoretical physics.
No, chemistry.
Ah.
What is the name of the property of a substance that describes its ability to conduct current? Electric current.
Conduction.
I'll give it to you. What is the name of the computer network protocol used for transmitting hypertext pages over the internal web?
HTTP.
Yes, Lou. I'm going to give you one more.
Yes, good.
What does RAM and ROM stand for? I'll give you 2 marks.
Read-only memory.
Yep.
Random access memory.
What do you say? What did you say for the first one?
Read-only memory.
Yep.
And then RAM is random access memory.
Okay, yeah, that's all right.
Mate, I'm sick of computing.
Yeah,
I don't know why
cool.
they gave me that E. Miss Kelly, if you're watching this, what the hell?
I don't know how much you got there, but
Bro, I'm pretty sure the only one I messed up the one gym one.
No, you did well there. Ooh, I need to get over there. Okay, so I remember the question because my bag's over there. So with every guest, actually before that, I asked my guest every quote that helps them in times of distress, when they're not motivated. What is that quote for you that impacts your life?
It's Just Do It by Shia LaBeouf.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Literally,
You
just
know,
do
you
it?
know, it's like, nah, yeah.
Is that a serious question?
Yeah, I'm dead serious, bro. Just
so
do
whenever you're down, you're thinking, Lou, just fucking get up.
Just
and
do it, mate. Just do
Okay.
it. You know.
And I need to remember the question. Should have got that over there. But the question that my previous guest asked, because she asked me again, she asked me the question was, if an alien was to come down and take you away and show you the universe, would you take it knowing that you can't come back?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
It's gonna be better than this place.
But you can't come back. And you don't know where you're gonna go in the universe.
Yeah, but they're like nice. Are they nice aliens? Or is there potential that they might trick me?
No, there's no.
Mate, I'm taking that risk. Yeah,
no
get out here. Yeah, of course, man. I'll be the only human in it there. That'd be sick.
Yeah,
I'd be like a celebrity.
I said the same thing, to be fair, because the universe is just so big.
Bro, do you know how shit Earth is?
Yeah.
Like, we're just monkeys that have destroyed the planet. And we just stupid. Yeah, I want to get out of this place, bro.
Yeah, quite literally. But yeah, that wraps up, Lou.
Easy work.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Lou, if you want to leave your socials, where can they find you?
Right, so Instagram and YouTube is _Lou Wright. If anyone's ever interested in online coaching, please apply via my links in the bio on Instagram. I also have a podcast called The Right Way, which is available on Spotify and YouTube. And if anyone ever has any fitness related questions, please feel free to reach out on all platforms.
That's it. So I've been your host, Mario. This is the Endless Race podcast. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode.